are the times that I've been bringing guests here and they get to tell you how they migrated to different countries. But the guest that we have today, the story is not only inspiring, but it is also very informative, especially for those who want to migrate to go and study. Stick right here that you may get to know how and which requirements are needed. For those who are here for the first time, my name's Anne Crider, and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much to those people who have subscribed to my channel. Asanteni sana. Without further ado, let's get to meet our guest. Hello guests, please introduce yourself.
Hi, thank you so much, Anne, for inviting me to come to this channel.
You're welcome.
So humbled. It's been my dream to come to your channel, and finally, I'm here. So my name is Susan Jobu. Before I was married, but now I'm Mrs. Ealing. I'm a Kenyan by nationality. I'm born from Nakuru County at Elbagon. And I'm a content creator, so this is my YouTube channel. Feel free after this to come and browse through my YouTube and also support me by subscribing. And yeah, I live here in Australia, in Adelaide, and I'm married to Mr. Philip Ealing. Yeah.
Susie, you have told us that you were born in Kenya. How did you migrate to Australia?
Well, it's been, it's been a journey of, 7 years since I have been here in Australia and specifically here in Adelaide. So I was just this, young girl, naive from high school. I finished my high school in 2012 and I had the passion to come abroad. So my parents were there to support me because you understand, Anne, when you're just young from high school, you really you don't know much about the world. So my parents, they were like, yes, we want you to work so hard in your high school so that you are able to go abroad. And thank God, because my sister had been here. So my sister was also motivating me to work hard, and she kept telling me, I want you work hard so that you can come here. So, I started my computer packages after high school. Then I did driving. Then after that, my parents told me to get passport. And at that time, my sister was telling me about this school that she had, she was currently, she had finished studying. So she had been in that college for, to do her nursing. So she kept telling me this school is so good, so I want you to come and join this school. So yeah, I was told there's not much to do. You need to choose a course. And my sister asked me, which course do you want? I told her I wanted first of all to do nursing. Then later on, I changed my mind to do my diploma in disability. And my sister told me, there are some requirements you need to get before you get enrolled. So she told me there's this English exam that entails 4 testing skills, that you're speaking, you're writing, you're reading, and also you are writing, you're speaking, you're reading, and also you're listening. Because what it entails is the way you can communicate to Wazungu, or to the white people, because when you come here to school, they are white people. So they need to make sure that you know how to correctly present yourself in school and also explain yourself in case you need to. So I did this exam and I was supposed to get a band score of 7 out of 9. So I scored that, and my sister was, you need now to write an application to school so that you can ask them, can I come to your school? So I did that in writing, and I was offered a letter offer to this, by the school. And after that, I was asked to provide a bank statement, which the bank statement simply, it's the whole of like the length of your visa. That's how much your bank statement should be. So we of course we were ready with our bank statement. We provided that. Then we got all my paperwork certified, because you need to certify your paperwork to the immigration, because of course they need to make sure that these are correct document and they are legit. So that's what we did. And story short, I applied for the visa, and it was granted after a couple of I think I usually say maybe mine took a bit longer, but people always say no, that's how much it takes. But yeah, I applied towards the end of December. Then I was to start my school in January. Unfortunately, my visa wasn't out. So my agent told me, you need to quickly, get in touch with the school so that they are able to provide you with new letter of offer and also confirmation of enrollment, because the others, they already expired. So that's what I did, and the school sent me all the the right paperwork that were currently valid. So by the time my visa was being granted, of course, they had seen this person had initially applied for January intake, but now she has to start for March intake. And yeah, there I was granted, and now it's been 7 years since I have been here in Adelaide. So that's how I came to Australia to study.
Wow, amazing. Is your sister the reason as to why you chose to go to study in Australia?
Not really. When you are growing up, I think it's just because my sister was here, and of course, she was my role model at the moment, because she's a bit older than me, and I'm the younger one in the family. So they would always want me to be on the right track in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that my sister was the one who made me come here, but also I had the passion. I had the passion to come and pursue further studies. And my parents didn't really want, to waste their finances enrolling me in colleges there or in university, and this is what I would also tell, maybe parents or whoever is listening. If you can spare that money of maybe going to university or college in Kenya, I don't mean that Kenya it is not a good education, but if you can top up, few money here and there, you can bring your daughter or your son or yourself, travel here for further studies. So yeah, it was a passion that made me, of course, come here for studies. But my sister as well was there to motivate me.
Wow, that's a nice motivation. And Susie, which agency did you use and where are they located?
So they are called Let's Migrate to Australia, and I am not sure if currently maybe they have moved their office, but their office is located along Vika Road, just before I think Kasarani or TRM. Yes, there. That was their head office. But I know they also have an office in Eldoret, but I'm not sure about that one because I was more involved with the Nairobi office. Yeah.
Susie, you've told us that you went to study, meaning that you used a student visa.
Yes.
So what are the requirements for a student visa?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking that. So, of course, when you come here to study, you are technically considered as international student. So, some of the requirements I have previously mentioned them briefly. You need a bank statement, and I have explained a bank statement is simply the amount of money that the government or the immigration needs to see that that money has been sitting there for roughly about 3 months. Some people, they say 6 months, but well, they need to see this is an income that has been generating. It's not a heaps of money that you take, then you throw there, then you say, see, I have bank statement. No, they don't want that. They want to see a bank statement that is so genuine, showing this is a person who has been working, and this person is accumulating money, and this money is being saved in this statement or in this bank, so that when this person travels abroad, the person who signs the affidavit is legally declaring that I will be there to support this person for the period of time that she or he will be there studying. So a bank statement is one of the biggest requirements. Again, I said, if you're coming here to study, there is also the English exam that every course, I would say, whenever you want to enroll, you have to go through the requirement, because there are some courses that they may not really ask. I have had people saying that, but myself, I don't know which courses are those ones. But yes, for me, I know English exam, again, it's also a major requirement, and every course, it has its the band score that you need to achieve. So every course, it varies how many points you are needed. So English, again, it's a very big requirement. So English and bank statement, I would really say they're the most major. So the passport, because you need passport to be applying through, all that process. So also passport is a major requirement for that, because you need that to travel when your visa gets granted.
So our viewers, I hope you have heard that English and bank statement are very important requirements. And Susie, did you get scholarship, and how can one get scholarship to come and study in Australia?
Wow, I really wish at the time that I was applying, I had scholarship. Unfortunately, we had to pay everything out of pocket. While I have had people getting scholarship, but I would say for me, when I finished my diploma and now I was enrolling to the university, I was among the lucky people who they got the scholarship. But again, because I was onshore student, so I believe they don't go above 25%. So I was one of those students who the agent, actually it's the agent who approached me and asked me, Susan, would you mind, applying scholarship? I said, hey, who doesn't want scholarship? Because of course, if a course is, it's about maybe 60,000, for the period of time that you'll be studying, then you get a good percentage. You're looking down at maybe 51,000. So I was like, yes, I'm gonna go for it. So I would really say, if you want a scholarship, please liaise with your agent to see if it is possible to get scholarship. I know a lot of people, they always find it so difficult. And I would say, I know it is hard sometimes to get, those scholarships, but please, if you have the right agent and they are able to really look for scholarship for you, so I'll say you can definitely get a scholarship.
And how can one get these agencies and the schools to come and study in Australia?
Well, I think agents, I would really say, if you're not referred to an agent by someone who have worked with that particular agent, then I would also say, if you're very, very new to this industry of, migrating to abroad, just go Google. I always say Google is a very, very friendly person to always ask every question. Go type. If you can watch YouTube, then I believe you are able to access the internet. You can just type immigration agent to Australia, or if you want to go to Canada, US, or anywhere in the world, just type immigration. Make sure those agents, they are really verified, or rather they are registered, because I know there are a lot of people who have lost a lot of money because they don't do their due diligence before using these agents. And please, I would really say not every agent who say, I take migrants to Australia, that they usually take people. Always just know, don't get the brokers. I don't know who transfer you to who and who. So yeah, you can Google. If you're not referred, you can look for an agent in that way.
Wow. Susie, now that you are in Australia, how did you cope with culture shock, and what keeps you going?
Wow, culture shock is a very wide thing to discuss about, and because I still believe everyone who comes here, or anyone who traveled abroad, culture shock is one of the things that you can't really run away from it. But I would really say having a family or having my sister here really played a good part, in me adapting to culture shock. Although my sister is not going to help me adapt, it is me who have to train myself to adapt to the culture. Because, and I remember the first time I was traveling and I had my first flight from Kenya to Qatar. Then after that, I was transitioning to come to Adelaide, and I was the only African. Oh my God, I was the only African in that flight. So at that stage, I'm trying to think, how am I gonna interact with these people? Then I'm like, looking ahead, that's the life I have. So it's a matter of starting to gear up, and you're like, no, I need to brace myself for this. When they talk to you and you hear that English, you can't really understand it properly, and you're like, what is that? So you have to really train yourself to adapt, because it is not easy. It's not always easy to come and adapt. Time difference is a very big key. It's a very major thing to really cope with it, because especially here in Australia, we are very much ahead, compared to Kenya, where I knew in Kenya I'll be sleeping because it's at night. Then I come here and the time difference is so big that when Kenya it is daytime, here it's at night. And I would be sleeping in class every time, and people would always ask me, are you sick? I'm like, no, I'm not sick. I can't stop dozing in class. And everyone would know, oh, so are you new? And everyone would say, yes, I am. But anyway, all those lecturers, they are well trained. They know students who are very new, there's that they need to cope. So they really understand. But I would really say training my mind to come and fully adapt to the culture. That's what I had to do. I had no otherwise. It's all about your mind and saying, yes, I can do this. Yeah, so that's how I was coping.
Wow. Susie, do you wish to talk about your marriage?
Yeah, of course, because I'm a wife, married to the best husband, in the world. So my husband is called Philip Ealings, and we were married in 2018 on January. So it's been, 3 years and I would say 8 months, 7. Sorry, it's a bit late here, so I have to really think. Yeah, but we were married in 2018 of January. So yeah, I would say I'm a proud wife, happily married.
And how did you meet your hubby?
Well, it's a juicy story, let me tell you.
Wow.
So basically we met in line of work where I had just finished, my course, and I was just hunting for job. As everyone knows, when you finish, you're gonna have to now look for a job. And that's why I was just like any other person looking for a job, applying to this company here and there. Sometimes you get those unfortunately, and you're like, oh, okay, that's fine. But why? I didn't lose hope because I think God had good plans for me. So I went to this company, and among the people who were doing my interview, he was among them. But again, I wasn't there intentionally to go and meet people. I was there, well presented, of course, for an interview. And after that, I think for some reason he must have been visualizing this woman sitting here will be my wife. Well, I think I was in that space of being so nervous, but someone else, it's really, he's really fascinated about this, Africa look. Oh my. So, he didn't hesitate to think, I can't let go. I would rather express myself than, if it's a no, then that's fine. And me on the other side, I think I had really concentrated with my studies. So I was sent into very deep relationship, because of course I was a young girl. So everyone, of course, the boys would be trying to hunt me here and there. But sometimes you have what you have as a priority in your life is to study, is to focus. So by the time I was feeling well, I have a bit of gap before I start my uni. Why not? Maybe at this time, if someone comes, I'll try and see if maybe I should accept, or maybe God, now maybe I will wait for next time. But he was bold enough to come forward and email me and tell me. Of course, he was so nervous because looking back, we always laugh. And I'm like, how about if I was maybe dating someone else? Is that why I was trying my luck? If you say no, that's fine. So, story short, he reached me on my email, very professional, and asking me, I would really like to know you a little bit. And I was like, well, I'm not really sure, but I would wait, because I was like, no way, how comes that, someone from this company where I had just, came from about few days, and it's not like the reply or the response that I have gotten a job. Something is not right here. I need to straighten up things here by saying no at this time in case there is something behind it. But I think God was always there trying to connect two of us, because I think after one email, second email, third email, and now he knew I had already got this job. I was like, hiya, let me see, let me face this man who is really telling me, okay. But of course, when he introduced himself and saying, I was the guy on wheelchair, because of course he's in a wheelchair. I was like, oh wow, I think I didn't even pay much attention to see, like my surrounding, how was he looking, because that's not what I was meant. And remember, my course was all about specializing with people with different disabilities. So seeing him there, it was like, while I have been on my attachment and I have been dealing with these people, so for me, it wasn't something that I felt it can act as a barrier. But yeah, down the line, we are married, and the rest has been history. That's how we met her. Yeah.
An interesting love story.
I
He
know.
proved to be a gentleman. For sure, disability is not inability.
He has always been. And I mean, I think that was a very bold step to think that you can approach someone. How about if that person says, why are you approaching me? Why did you get my details on, to begin with? So I always put it as it was God. because God intended us to be together, and now we are together.
Susie, being married by a white man and you are from an African race, how do you cope with cultural differences?
Well, it is not always that easy, I would say, to begin with. But I would say, of course, he met me when I was already here, roughly about 3 years. So I had tried as much as I can, to get to know how to relate with people from different culture. Because remember, I'm not the only migrant here. Even at school, we have, the Caucasian, we have Indians, Chinese, and all of that every day from any different part of the world. So I had been trying before to cope with different cultures, also at work and the way I would interact. But now, of course, when it comes to marriage, it is now a one-on-one. You feel like this is an exam, It is not how you'd be treating people at work because, you're not going to see them. You only come there for work. Now, this is someone who you're spending the rest of your life with. And I would say communication plays a very big role in the way you can be in that position or in that space of being in interracial marriage. It is not always like you have to think this person is thinking in a way I'm thinking, like kukuwa na Uafrika mwingi, you have to stop, allow me to say, thinking like Uafrika, Kikuyu and things like that. So you have to start straightening up your mind and going, wow, this is how I can think because the other person might be thinking this way. So when it comes to that communication plays a very big role. You have to always communicate. I don't let my mind assume that that's how he wanted to tell me or I have to always make sure that I'm on the right track with the way I present myself because again, it's all about also body language. You have to know, how to react in a certain time. And I think that has really helped me a lot in coping with the cultural differences. Adapting is the key word.
Wow. And does your hubby plan to go to Kenya and meet your family?
He would really love to. He haven't, at the moment traveled to Kenya, but we thank God that my parents were here for 1 year and they did spend plenty of time with my husband, for the first time, him meeting my parents, my dad, my mom, and of course my sister, but he would really love for sure. And we just hope that one day that dream will always come true for him. But again, internet has made everything looks like it's just a one dome. Everyone is, he would ring my brothers, he rings, my family, and just talking, and they feel like they have already met this person, But answering your question, he would really love to travel, but he haven't traveled.
Wow. It reminds me when I was to take my husband home, he was also very excited to go and meet my family. And I believe that it will also come to pass for him.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And have you guys extended your family, or that is not a plan that you have at the moment?
Well, I think people always say, you guys, you're still on honeymoon. I believe we're still on honeymoon, because again, we kind of feel, we don't want, the parental responsibility at this stage because we feel we got already plenty of things in our hands, My husband just currently finished the other week his, bachelor's in criminology and justice. So that was one of the things he felt he would really love to accomplish. At the same time, I also have my plans for my life. So we kind of feel maybe family will come later, in the future. And also we feel we are we are still young. We still want to be in the lovey-dovey mood. Well, we enjoy. Yeah, but we have a very friendly, fluffy, cute dog. He's a Siberian Husky. He's called Oscar, and I think he kind of feels he's being treated like a child, but again, we wouldn't mind to extend in the near future, but I think at the moment we are just happy that we are two of us and our cute dog.
Nice to hear. And what keeps you going as an interracial and an interabled couple despite online trolls?
Wow, loving each other. I mean, that's all. Just loving each other and just, I'm a person who don't care when I have to, when I feel this is not my space to, to be in that toxic conversation, among people. I just act so deaf, like I didn't hear or I didn't read. So I don't really care. Like, we love each other. At the end of the day, it's me and him. Whoever feels, of course, we have been trolled for a very long period of time, and I think still, but I later on came to understand, like, every tree that has good fruits will always have people to pick on it. So I kind of felt a lot of people get so inspired by our marriage. So as those people who want to act a bit silly or a bit stupid, I don't give them a chance. I just ignore them and I just say, you know what, you're gonna talk about this and that. You say it's money, you say it's this. At the end of the day, I got my husband in the house and we are good to go. So that's how we go. By loving each other more and more, the more people they troll us, the more we love each other.
Exactly. That's how it should be. And
Yeah,
Susie, what's your future plan? To go back to Kenya or to stay in Australia for good?
I think considering I came here young and I started my life because, it's not, of course, I have my whole family back in Kenya, but I feel this was my life because I'm spending my adulthood here in Australia. If maybe I had left a husband back in Kenya, okay, maybe I would be thinking I need to go back home. But I came here young to start my life, and I have called Australia my second home because I'm married. So this is why I belong. But of course, Kenya will always remain to be home away from home. So happy to always go back there and see my family, my other family. Yeah.
Wow. Susie, what's your final remarks to our viewers?
I would say, first of all, before I finish, I want to thank you so much, Anne, because, you have given me a platform to come and, talk to your viewers or rather to our viewers. I don't take that for granted. I really, really appreciate. And I would say whoever would like to know more about me and what I do with my channel, I just do lifestyle, inspirational, informative, everything. It's a one-stop channel. So just come to my channel, browse through, subscribe, support me grow. And yeah, thank you so much, Anne. It's been a pleasure being here.
Thank you so much, Susie, for accepting my request to come in my channel.
My
God bless
pleasure.
you And I'd request our viewers to kindly go to your channel and show some love and subscribe and see what you're doing there in general. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best in the rest of your life.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
My viewers, as you have heard the story, it was very informative and we have learned a lot. If you have any opinion, you can write it in the comment section. And if you have any question, you can as well get to write it in the comment section and I will get back to you. Thank you so much for watching this video and see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.